Welcome back to the Vi Media channel and another Marketing Monday episode. My name is Eric Brown. I'm president here at Vi Media. We are a digital marketing company specializing in all things digital marketing. And today, what we are going to talk about is search volume, keywords. What does that mean for your business when you are advertising or, have an SEO strategy ongoing? How important, excuse me, are the search terms, right? The search terms are the terms or the search that people are looking for, right? They're typing into Google or Bing or whatever platform they're using in order to find a business such as yourselves. And then of course, how often are those actual terms searched? So, you have a few things when it comes to this and why it's important to understand when it comes to your business. So, when it really comes to overall, right? You're developing a marketing strategy for a business. And if you're looking at, you're just say you're a local business, you focus on whatever, you're a dentist or you're an HVAC company or you're a roofing company or you're a chiropractor, whatever you are going to have obviously search terms that people are looking for you locally in order to find a business such as yourselves. So when it comes to the volume of keywords, right? How often is that actually being searched, right? Because we have companies come to us and say, hey, I have a budget of $10,000 a month. But then you look at how people are trying to find that niche business and you find that, there's no way that you're ever going to spend the budget that's allocated because the search volume is so low, meaning there's not a lot of people specifically searching for what you do on an ongoing basis. So when it comes to search volume, high search volume terms, of course, indicate a strong demand, right? And that's why here at Vi Media, that's really the businesses that we're focusing on are those with high demand locally. And of course, we work with niche businesses as well that, say for example, even when it comes to nationwide scale, they only have a couple hundred or a couple thousand search terms that they're actually able to get in front of. But if they're in an industry where maybe they're a law firm, specialty law practice, specialty medicine or something along those lines, maybe it makes sense to advertise for that, even if you're only going to be spending, a little bit of money on a monthly basis, because you want to make sure you're getting in front of those 1,000 people nationwide that are searching for that. But for the majority of us and the majority of our clients, we're looking at high volume terms, meaning HVAC, your heating and cooling company and you service St. Louis or Minneapolis or Chicago or wherever you're at. There's going to be a lot of people on a monthly basis looking for what you do. So we know that going into it, okay, the demand's already high. So the question is, how do we develop a strategy to make sure that as a new business, say for example, or as someone that hasn't done a lot of marketing or advertising in the past, how do we compete with the big dogs? Meaning those companies that are spending an absolute ton of money on a monthly basis, essentially maxing out their ad spend. Right? We have um, a roofing company that we work with here in the St. Louis area, and due to all these storms, I mean, they were able to spend $25,000 just strictly on Google Ads, and that does not count, Google Guaranteed, and of course, Microsoft Ads that we have running for them as well. So high search volume, and you want to actually balance that with low volume specific terms, right? Because when it comes to high volume terms, they can be competitive and costly, right? So every single roofing company is going for a roofing company St. Louis. But, let's say, for example, you're a dentist, right? You want to be able to be found for Dentist St. Louis or whatever it is. And more likely than not, there's going to be more people, more companies bidding on that when it comes to ads, and also more people and more companies working on optimizing those dental websites in order to rank for, of course, Dentist St. Louis, for example, right? Now, what you can also add in on top of that is going after more specific procedures, emergency root canal in St. Louis, for example. Being able to target more of those niche audiences with a higher intent and hopefully, of course, at a lower cost as well. So proper keyword selection obviously drives targeted traffic. optimizes ad budgets and increases your return on investment. For example, right? Let's take a local bakery. They're targeting fresh cupcakes, St. Louis, instead of just bakery, St. Louis, because we know that if someone's looking for fresh cupcakes, they are looking, to go and purchase those today versus just bakery near me. That may pull in less relevant clicks. Obviously, you got Google guaranteed as well. Local service ads. Not all business have this available to them, but I would highly recommend that if you do have the availability to advertise through Google guaranteed or local service ads, that you go ahead and at least try it. Set it up, try it, see if it works for your business. A large majority of the time we find, and I've talked about this in the past, that actually Google guaranteed, it's harder to scale, meaning, with Google Ads, for example, in that roofing company, we were able to spend $25,000 directly to ads. We would never have that ability to spend on Google Guaranteed. So you want to make sure you're getting Google Guaranteed leads, though, usually because they're calling you directly, so they're higher likely to convert. They're also usually a little bit, 5 to 10% cheaper, less expensive when it comes to comparing those to the leads from Google Ads, right? Um, so it's a great way to advertise your business, and it's usually the first thing that's actually showing up before search ads, before maps, before the website rankings themselves. And then obviously, you have SEO, right? So targeting specific locally focused search terms like best pizza in St. Louis obviously helps businesses rank higher in organic search results. And really what you're trying to do is match these terms to user intent. So for example, how to fix a leaky faucet, navigationally, business name reviews are transactional. Buy flowers in whatever city that you're in. Keywords with decent local search volume drive consistent traffic to a business's website and, of course, the Google business profile. Um, you have a lot of people talking about long tail keywords such as affordable family dentist instead of just dentist in have often they have lower volume but less competition. It sometimes makes it easier to rank due to that, but you're still running into the problem of this. Affordable family dentist in St. Louis. More likely than not, the person that's also ranking for dentist in St. Louis, let me just do it now. Dentist in St. Louis. Okay. Delta Delta Dental. That's insurance. Then we got St. Louis County Dental. Okay, so let's do affordable family. All right. It is different. There you go. Including financing. Got it. So this just goes to show exactly what I was just saying is that when it comes to ads, it gets a little bit more tricky because ads are harder to specifically target out and, advertise to and break it out in an ad campaign. But obviously, when it comes to SEO, you're able to focus on some of those longer tail keywords, some of those more specific search terms. That's a little bit more tough to differentiate yourself when it comes to, ads and also Google guaranteed. So effective SEO using well-researched search terms, of course, boost organic visibility, meaning people searching for what you do or the product that you offer, builds credibility and drives, of course, sustainable traffic. For instance, a local gym ranking for yoga classes, St. Louis, can attract nearby customers without ongoing ad costs, right? And then if you want more than what you're getting for SEO, then you can get into ads. So the biggest thing, one of the things we look at is just local intent. Search terms with geographic modifiers are vital for local businesses as most customers prioritize proximity. Of course, for you listening as a consumer know that that is the case for a majority of people. And of course, high local search volume, signals demand in that area. So high local search volume, right? Whatever you do, Dennis, St. Louis, shows that there's obviously high demand in the area. And that's, of course, why us at Vi Media really more so focus on those higher volume clients. Competition and cost high volume terms are often competitive, increasing costs in search ads and requiring more effort to rank in SEO. Of course, as we said before, Google guaranteed ads bypass some of this by focusing on service categories, but businesses still compete for visibility. We have user intent. Search terms reveal what customers want. High intent terms. Let's just say you're a massage therapist. Someone's looking up book massage St. Louis. Convert better than generic terms such as just massage St. Louis. So analyzing search volume helps prioritize terms that balance reach and conversion potential, right? You're getting in front of 10,000 people, but none of those people are actually going to convert into a client. And that's a waste of time and money. Um, there's plenty of tools that we use here at Vi Media. Some nice ones are Google Keyword Planner when it comes to ads. Of course, you have paid tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs that we use here at Vi. And then obviously when it comes to, what you have ongoing, you have free tools from Google, Google Search Console, right? That way you can measure your success when it comes to SEO, Google Analytics. You want to make sure that that stuff is set up on your website because, like I've harped on plenty of times before, if you are spending money on marketing but don't know how well it's working because you're not tracking and monitoring it, you're wasting your money. So, quick example, a local HVAC company might target emergency HVAC repair, St. Louis, for example, which is moderate volume and high intent to capture urgent leads, avoiding broad terms like HVAC that attract non local clicks. Google guaranteed optimize your profile for heating repair and AC installation to appear for high volume local searches, leveraging the Google guaranteed badge to build trust. And then, of course, create content around how to maintain AC in your city to rank for informational queries, driving organic traffic, and establishing authority. One big thing is a content strategy when it comes to your business. Um, you want to make sure that people aren't only able to find you by just searching up those generic terms such as HVAC company or heating repair, but also if they're looking up specific things about how do I maintain my equipment, is my coolant low, things like that, that's going to drive people also to your traffic that way. And, it gives obviously you a higher chance to convert because you lay out the issue, what someone can do to fix it. And obviously they see it. They either try it themselves, it doesn't work, they give you a call, or they just say, screw it, I'm not going to do it at all. I'm going to give you a call. Or they do it and they fix it. But in the future, hey, great. They remember that company that gave them, obviously, that help. So that is all the time we have for today. I hope you learned something. As always, please like, review, subscribe, leave a comment, share with someone. We appreciate everyone's support. Please, if you want to learn more, you can reach out to us at vi.media if you just need some help. If you have some questions, feel free to message us here at Vi Media as well. Or, of course, if you just want to get a hold of me, chat with me, Eric Kemp Brown, across all platforms. We appreciate everyone's support. One last time, Vi.media, best damn marketing company on the planet. Thank you. We have a bunch of these videos. Please go back and look at them. I think we're on episode 60 or getting close to it. So we have a ton of content on this channel. We release one of these every single week. We appreciate y'all. Talk soon.